99 FM, Sibo and Mooks in the morning. And as promised, we do have the Namibian Cancer Awareness Week kicking off yesterday and runs until the 4th of August. The Cancer Association of Namibia continues to highlight the importance of lifestyle changes and how early detection can impact the cause of cancer in our lives. This year, the South African Bone Marrow Registrar has partnered with the Cancer Association of Namibia with the focus on bone marrow transplant and how you can become a donor. Okay, in studio with me today we have Zahir Isaacs from the South African Bone Marrow Registrar and Kushishi Range. Am I getting that right? Gentlemen, how are we doing this morning?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, we are so excited to have you this morning. We are very excited to have you this morning. So without wasting any more time, we want to jump into the gist of things. So how is the South African Bone Marrow Registrar working in partnership with the Association of Namibia to address this issue and the increasing number of potential donors from this background?
I mean, in the health sector in general, when we look at bone marrow transplantation, we see patients that come in and with leukemia and lymphomas and that need transplants. We have noticed the gap in terms of ethnicity in the sense of the number of donors and matches that we have for mainly marginalized communities.
Gotcha.
So this is where the SABMR, which is the South African Bone Marrow Registry, came in with the National Cancer Association to just basically connect and collaborate in the sense of increasing the diversity and the chances actually of our patients to getting a second chance in life. And I believe Zahir can also actually add more to that as well.
Correct. You see, HLA matching is genetically inherited via racial lines. So when a black or a colored patient in Africa gets leukemia, to find them a match is very difficult.
Got you.
Because we are unique in our sense of our genetics. Not because we are rare, but because of lack of diversity on the global stage.
Get you.
So there's no representation really. So we want to change that and get more people of color to join the registries so that when you and I get ill, we have a better chance of finding a match and a second chance at life.
Before we dive deeper into finding a match and all of that, firstly, we want to know, what is bone marrow? What is it?
Bone marrow transplantation, it's indicated for patients as a last resort when they have leukemia or lymphomas. It's the final step to give them a second chance, right? But to match it, once you've matched it and you find the donor, we need the stem cells which is inside the bone marrow. Stem cell is basically, you know, like when you have a brick. That brick you can build a house with, a hospital with, a school with. A stem cell is like that. It can become any blood cell required in your blood.
Got you.
It's like a blank that can become anything needed in the blood.
In the blood.
So how we get the stem cells is we don't go into your bone marrow or into your bones. It's like literally like a blood transfusion. They put the needle in your arm, the blood goes in a machine. The machine separates the stem cells and push all your other blood back to you. So we literally just collect the stem cells, which goes directly to the patient who will then get their transplant.
Because here in my mind, I'm thinking you have to open my bone and drill and all of that. So the final question before we go for a break, is this procedure being done in Namibia?
Not currently.
Okay.
It's done in South Africa. We've so far assisted 6 Namibian patients with transplants in South Africa. But to give them more Namibian patients a chance of finding a match, that's why the partnership started, to get more diverse donors into the database.
Got you.
And it's a global database.
Beautiful. Well, we're still in the studio with Zahir Isaacs and Kushishi from the Namibian Cancer Association, and we'll be chopping it up soon. Coming up is John Legend, and that's what it is. Still in the studio with me today is Zahir Isaacs from the South African Bone Marrow Registrar and Kushishi. Say that again?
Shiriange.
Yeah, let me not destroy your name.
It's okay.
And earlier we spoke that you don't have to drill into someone's bones.
I know.
Yeah, I think, man, I might pull through. With that said, the following question I do have for you is, how does one become a donor?
Okay, firstly, yes, like we said, we don't need to drill into your bones.
Yeah.
And it's non-invasive.
Come on.
So you can just visit the website of SABMR, which is the South African Bone Marrow Registry. There is a special tab for the Namibian registry, how to become the donor there. So once you apply, and then once we have received your application, you can get your kit done through the Path Care here in Namibia as well. So then we know at least who from Namibia have registered as donors.
Got you. So that's pretty much straightforward. It's not like a struggling process.
No.
Okay. And what are some of the risks? What are the advantages of becoming a donor? Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yes. I just want to rectify him. On the website, it's all donors under where to register. And there's at one point where it says Namibia, it will split off so that we know who the Namibian donors are.
Gotcha.
Yes.
And the risks, there's a minor risk to donors because 5 days before you do the donation, we give you a small little injection in your stomach every day. And that stimulates the stem cells to be released from your bones into your blood. That's why we can collect it from the bloodstream. There's a minor risk. In the more than 30 odd years that transplantation has been happening, there has been very little incidences where donors react to that. The advantages is you're saving somebody's life.
True, beautifully true.
And most probably somebody that looks like you, speaks like you, because of how we inherit the genetics. The other advantage is that every donor that signs up is another chance for a patient.
Beautiful.
True.
Before we sign off, you said you get an injection every day. How many days before?
It's 5 days.
So 5 days.
The patient starts 10 days ahead of the before transplant, where they do full chemotherapy. And they basically obliterate the patient's immune system. And your cells at day 5, they start with your injection. It's like, the little diabetes injection in your tummy. Tiny little.
Tiny. So it's not like
tiny little.
It's not like a major.
And that just stimulates the stem cells to be released into the bloodstream. And when they collect your stem cells, that if you then turn around at day 5 to say you don't want to donate anymore, that patient will die because they've already 5 days into treatment.
Beautiful.
And will have no immune system.
Well, guys, I enjoyed talking to you, and thank you for educating me. Is there anything else you want to add and conclude?
Yeah, I would like to add something. Working as the registrar here at the National Cancer Registry and looking at our statistics, leukemia and lymphomas are top tier when it comes to the childhood cancers. So this actually gives an opportunity to not only the Namibian girl or boy child, this just gives an opportunity also to South Africans. As we can see, like we said, ethnicity does matter in this case because we are really diverse. So the more we come to the table, the higher the chances of actually giving these patients and our patients a second chance. Yeah.
It's all about giving second chances. Thank you guys so much for joining us in the studio today. And remember, Cancer Association Awareness Week has kicked off yesterday and it runs until the 4th of August. So coming up is the sounds of Dua Lipa, levitating on 99.